I gotta talk to you.
About what?
So this boy I wanted to ask to the movies, he went with somebody else.
You're lying.
I swear.
When?
This morning.
Girl. Well, what you need to do is come to Cafe Talk during lunch and talk to me, Miss Dixon, or Miss Eccles, and get everything off your chest, and we won't tell nobody unless it's about harming yourself or others.
Good.
Because you sound like you need a lot to get off your chest.
Hey Panthers! Your books are on sale now for $45.
Pay an extra $5 to get your name on it.
Senior ads are on sale now. Full page is $100, half page is $75, and a quarter page is $50. Go to Miss Jones' room for 303 to purchase your yearbook and get your senior ads today.
Seniors, check your emails for senior quotes as well as senior superlatives.
Also, students and teachers, keep an eye out for an email from Ms. Jones regarding Latavia Moore.
This email is about a dedication page to Latavia Moore.
If any student or teacher who was close to her and would like to say anything and share a memory, please do so. Go to Mrs. Jones' room 303 to purchase your yearbook.
Students, I'm Mr. Oates, part of the administrative team here at Chattahoochee County Middle High School. I'm here to talk to you today about the student code of conduct that is found in your student handbook that you should have received in your homeroom. Now, your student handbook contains all types of pertinent information, everything from graduation requirements to class dues to attendance policies, and it can come in very handy through the course of the 2017-18 school year. We're going to take just a few minutes to focus on some things in regard, though, to the student code of conduct. That is, behaviors that we expect you to exhibit as a Panther. One of the first things that I'd like to touch on is that of the school dress code policy that's found on page 66 in your student handbook. It simply states, good grooming and appropriate dress are expected of all students. There is a positive relationship between a neat, appropriate appearance and a good learning environment. Current safety issues are addressed by the student dress code. The dress code is intended to be fair, equal, and promoting a safe and stable learning environment and modeling for the future success of students. The following are CCMS HS dress code rules. Anything that interferes with or distracts from a pleasant, proper learning environment is unacceptable. Clothing must be worn as it is designed. All shorts, pants, skirts, shorts, split skirts, etc. should be worn appropriate length. The length should be no higher than 2 inches above the knee. No hats or headgear or headbands of any type of bandanas, visors, scarves, hoods, anything like that should be allowed in the building. Also, no trench coats. This includes on the bus. Rollers, combs, picks in the hair, brushes worn in the hair, anything like that is strictly prohibited. There are a number of different things in the dress code. I'm not going to bore you with reading each and every one of them, but those are just some of the highlights that you need to be aware of. In short, if you have a question about the dress code, and you have a question about whether you should wear something to school before you leave the house that morning, it's probably a good idea that you didn't wear it. Another issue I wanted to touch on today is that of bus conduct. Riding a bus is a privilege. The Chattahoochee County School District's Transportation Department, as well as the state, has guidelines and procedures for those that are riding the bus. Keep in mind that it's a privilege, and as I always state, your bus driver's bus is the equivalent of your teacher's classroom, and you're expected to follow the procedures set forth. There are also some issues that I feel that we need to touch on as an administrative staff as we begin the 2017-18 school year. These are like zero tolerance policies. One of the first things that we've dealt with over the last few years and seen an increase of is the use of cell phones. Everyone knows that cell phones are needed in today's society. They're very beneficial. However, they can very well serve as a distraction. We allow students, while they're in the hallways, to have one earbud in between classes. We don't have an issue with that. All we ask is that as you travel, just for safety purposes, you keep one ear available in case of an emergency. When it comes to cell phones in the classroom, we allow our teachers to have their own policy. In other words, some teachers require use of the cell phone or various other electronic items for various projects or whatnot. Some teachers don't want to see a cell phone in their classroom. Whatever that teacher's policy and procedure is, we expect you to abide by it. I don't think that I have ever disciplined a student for having a cell phone as much as I have insubordination. Our teachers have been directed that if a cell phone becomes an issue, that they ask you to put it away. If you refuse to put it away or refuse to turn it into that teacher, we then deem that as insubordination. And that's what usually lands students in deeper trouble. It's not the actual use of the cell phone. So please make sure you're in accordance to the teacher's policy in regards to your cell phone. Another issue that we encountered the last couple of years, and we've really improved on and curtailed, is that of tardies to class and tardies to school. We've done that through your help, through your parents' help, and through the good work of our teachers here at Chatco. We want to continue to improve on that this year. Make sure that you're where you're supposed to be and on time. Also, with that said, that can also lead to another issue that arises from time to time of students being in an unauthorized area. Unauthorized area can also be deemed as skipping and leads to a whole nother issue as far as attendance goes and not just tardiness. Please make sure that you're where you're supposed to be at all times and on time. Some of the zero tolerance policy issues that we have here at Chattahoochee County, I want to briefly touch on. One of the first one is intertwined, aggressive behavior, fighting, and bullying. They can all fall under the same umbrella, if you will. Aggressive behavior could be verbal, it could be nonverbal. Fighting is fighting. It is automatic suspension out of school. Bullying is something that's come to the forefront in our society in the last few years, and it's a very real thing. Bullying is a serious issue in our society, in both schools and in the workplace. Bullying can be verbal, it can be physical, and it can also be used on social media, which leads me to this next thing. Anything that you do on social media that disrupts the school day or is bullying can land you in a lot of hot water. It can be anything from in-school suspension to out-of-school suspension to a possible tribunal. Anyone who's found guilty of bullying 3 times within a calendar school year, by law, is subject to tribunal and will be referred to the Chattahoochee County Alternative School. That's not the Chatco law, that's the state law. Another issue I want to touch on is that of drugs and alcohol. It's strictly prohibited and outlined here in our handbook what the disposition is. Bottom line, if you're caught with drugs or alcohol, you will be suspended and you will be recommended to serve time in the alternative school according to the disposition found in our Code of Conduct. Also, with that said, any type of sexual offense. Sexual offenses actually range from anything from public displays of affection to sexual assault and can result in anything from a phone call home to your parent to possible law enforcement involvement. Another issue that has arisen the last few years, and we have a zero tolerance policy for, is that of disrespectful behavior to adults. We expect you to be respectful to everyone, from your peers to your teachers, to the bus drivers, to the custodial workers, to everyone in the school. But let me say this, disrespectful or rude behavior towards your teachers and the staff will not be tolerated here at Chatco. As I stated, I do not want to take the time today to read you the entire Code of Conduct and go over the do's and don'ts, but I did want to hit some highlights. With that said, I also want to say this. As part of the administrative team here at Chatco, I don't want to just see you when you've broken a Code of Conduct. I want to get to know who you are. So my door is always open to you. If I can be of any assistance, please feel free to see me. My office is the first office on the left as you enter the school building towards the middle school hall. I'd be glad to assist you in any way I can in making your school year successful here at Chatco.